Controversy at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner as comedian Michelle Wolf took some shots at White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Take a listen to what she had to say.
She burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies.
Now, she also went on to take shots at Vice President Mike Pence, making some remarks about abortion that some in the crowd could be heard disagreeing with, and certainly it made a lot of people uncomfortable. Now, some comedians came to her defense right away saying, guys, get over yourselves. This is comedy. But the President of the United States tweeted out, Donald Trump's tweet today was, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is dead as we know it. This was a total disaster and an embarrassment to our great country and all that it stands for. Fake news is alive and well and beautifully represented on Saturday night. All right, let me bring in comedian and owner of one of the premier comedy clubs in our area, the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. Vinny Brand joins me. Vinny, welcome back to Chasing News. How are you?
I'm good, Bill. Thanks for having me.
So, Vinny, last October, I had Michelle Wolf on my radio show. She was headlining at the Stress Factory. What is your take on this from a comedian standpoint? Is the criticism valid?
No, because the criticism about whether or not she tried to be funny or whether or not she said something inappropriate, rather, is just, it's off base. The criticism should only be, was the joke funny? That's it. You hired a comedian. She's supposed to make jokes. She made jokes. You didn't laugh? Okay, you didn't laugh. But let's not talk about whether it's appropriate, because now you're talking about limiting free speech. And what is comedy? Comedy's making inappropriate remarks. So don't hire a comic. Just don't have a fun dinner.
It seems that some are saying, and I've said this, that it's been open season on the Trump administration, that this remark about smoky eyes, she was talking about Sarah Huckabee Sanders' appearance, and there were women on the left saying not appropriate to talk about her appearance this way. If you would disparage somebody on the other side the same way, there would have been a backlash.
Again, listen, I won't defend whether or not Michelle's joke was funny. You hired Michelle Wolf. She's funny. And she said something. It either was or wasn't funny to you. The criticism, it seems off base. This is really about whether or not she should have joked at all, in my opinion. And the answer is yes, she should joke.
Does this help or hurt her career?
Helps it tremendously. Michelle Wolf, first of all, she already has a great career. She's very, very funny. If you didn't know her name yesterday, you know it today, and you're going to know it tomorrow. It's going to help her.
All right, Vinny. Always good to talk to you. Okay, let's bring in our A-plus panel for tonight's show. I'm joined by immigration attorney Afia Yunus. Always good to see you, Afia. Matt Rooney back with us, editor of the Save Jersey blog and an attorney. Good to see you, Matt. And Peter Brown, councilman in Linden, Democratic councilman. Peter, I'm going to start with you as a Democrat. What I asked Vinny, I'll ask you the same question. If the shoe were on the other foot, if this were a right-leaning comic going after a left-leaning, let's say Obama's press secretary, would the reaction have been the same?
No, I mean, of course, you're going to have different reactions regardless. If it's this camp or this camp, just because we were so politically tight and wound up. This was comedy. And this is something that we should be accustomed to at this point. I mean, remember Def Comedy Jam? When they first came out, they were seen as being raw and going over the top, and we've come to
Matt, is it too easy to throw this away as a line? Hey, it's comedy, because I had the same reaction today. I've had her on the show. Vinny had it. Peter's having it. But this is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and you're talking about people that are supposed to be reporting on the people being mocked.
Right, and let's also remember that this is the same far-left political correctness crowd that generally has made it impossible for us to have a conversation and to laugh with one another. So the fact that they now have this liberal pep rally that only ever goes one way, why would Donald Trump want to participate, and what's the point of continuing to have it?
Afia, what do you think? After she gave her remarks, she walked off and there was no eye contact between her and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, so it looked very tense and personal. Is it just too far by maybe a bit?
Again, I think all should be fair and love war and comedy. And just like Vinny had said, if you want a comedian, that's what you're going to get. And we had discussed, who is Michelle Wolf, And now, apparently, everybody knows who she is. So this is kind of what has built up over the years with White House Correspondents' Dinner. I feel like every year it's getting a little bit more increasingly controversial.
Does the president have a point? I mean, I'm actually, for one, I'm glad he didn't go. I think to put the president on the same level as a comedian is ridiculous. But I know he tweets at everybody, so what do you think? Is it
Yeah,
hurt the dinner?
I think it does to a certain extent. I'm sure there's a significant amount of people who didn't like, particularly the abortion comment. I didn't appreciate.
I didn't like it, yeah.
And so, yeah, there are going to be a group of people who don't watch it anymore or don't attend.
Vinny, when's she coming back to the club?
I would have Michelle Wolf back tonight if I could get her. That would be a great thing to do.
I bet he would.
All right, thank you, Vinny. Thank you, guys.